There are many ways to set up your ROMs and BIOS files for your Android device, and today I'm going to show you guys how to get started. So you can either set it up on your PC, your Mac, or the device itself. I'm going to have chapters down below so you guys can skip to what you want to see specifically. So if you're on a computer, whether it's Windows or Mac, you can follow along to this beginning step. So first what we want to do is create a ROMs folder on our desktop or somewhere that's easily accessible. So we're just going to right click, new, and we're going to call it ROMs. And then inside this folder, you're going to create separate folders for each console that you want to play. So I'm going to create a 3DS folder, a DS folder, and lastly a PS2 folder so I can show you guys how to get BIOS files working. And then in that PS2 folder, I'm going to create a folder just called BIOS, and that's going to be our BIOS files. Now if you guys don't know what BIOS files are, they're basically system files that are required in order to emulate certain systems, and I'll show you guys where you can get those as well. Now that we have our folder set up, it's time to find ROMs. Now I can't provide direct links to different ROMs, but two really good places to look is Internet Archive as well as the ROMs megathread here. If you are still unable to find your ROM after using those methods, Google is going to be your best friend. Once you download a few ROMs, you'll notice that some of them come in a zip file and then some of them come as a separate file. So if it's separate, we can go ahead and just throw it into our ROMs folder. So this is a PS2 game. So I'm going to open up the ROMs folder, PS2, and then just drag it in there. And then after that's done, we're going to go ahead and move these as well. This is a 3DS game, this is a DS game. So we're just going to open that up and we're going to transfer this file, not the zip file, but the separate 3DS file to our ROMs folder. So we're just going to drag this one into 3DS, and then we're going to go into the DS game and drag it into our DS folder. Now in order to run PS2 or some later systems, you're going to need a BIOS file. Here is my BIOS file, here's what it's called. I once again cannot provide these exact files, but if you go to the ROMs megathread we were talking about before, they have some BIOS files on there. So once you get your BIOS file, you just want to drag it into that BIOS folder, and now we're finally ready to transfer this stuff over to our device. Now if you're on Windows, this is pretty simple. All you have to do is plug in your device and drag and drop. So I have Thor plugged in. I'm going to go to this PC, and Thor, and we're going to switch back over to the Thor and make sure that you have it set to use the USB for file transfer. After that's done, we can head back to the PC, this PC, and Thor, and we see the root file here, and we can go ahead and just drag and drop. Now I have switched over to Mac, and what you'll notice when you plug in your device, it will not pop up in the regular Finder. So you have to download this app called Android File Transfer. Once you plug in your device, make sure to go on the device and enable file transfer, and then this menu should pop up and it shows the root of your AY and Thor, so you can simply just drag and drop your ROMs folder right where you need it. Now I highly recommend doing this process on a computer, but if you do not have one or just simply don't want to, you can also do it on the device itself. So before we get started with that, the first thing you need to do is head to the Play Store and download any zip extractor. This is the one that I use, but you can use anyone on the store. Now we're ready to set that up. So we're going to go to our File app, head to the root of your device, click on those three dots here at the top right, and go to New Folder and just call it ROMs. So I'm just going to create a 3DS file here, but go ahead and create the folders that you want to emulate. And now it's time to get our ROMs. Now once you download your ROM, it's most likely going to be a zip file or a .7z file. So here I am in the zip extractor tool, and I've downloaded a game right here, and it is a zip file. So in order to unzip it in this tool, we're just going to click on it, scroll down and click extract, give it a name that you'll be able to remember, and give it a second to extract here. And after it's done, we can head to our file application, and we're going to go to the root, and you should see this folder called the zip extractor right here. When you click on that, find the game that you just extracted. For me, it's Fantasy Life right here, and here is the ROM. So we're gonna go ahead and move it to our ROMs folder. You just hold down on it, click on move to, find your ROMs folder, should be on the root of your Thor, and then you find that 3DS folder and you just click move right there. And also, once you do that, you can head back to the downloads folder and delete the original zip file that's right here. Once you move your ROMs file over to your device, there's a couple of different options. You can either set up a front end like I have here to easily navigate through those games, but if you don't want to do that, you can simply open up the emulator and have it navigate to that ROMs folder. So for example, for Melon DS, you would just go to the settings, head to ROMs, and then go to your DS directory here and make sure you click use this folder here at the bottom. Now for PS2 emulation, we did set up that BIOS file. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up Aether SX2. So when you get to the screen where it says import BIOS, we're just gonna navigate to that BIOS folder and click on that and make sure you select it right here. Then we're gonna navigate to our PS2 directory, use that folder, and then we're all good to go. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this video, guys. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to answer you guys' questions. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. It's easy, and we'll see you guys next time.